So how's it going? I'm Krishy. I am currently training at JIU-JITSU, Miyazaki, Japan. So I actually got into jiu-jitsu back in 2020 at the very peak of the pandemic, ironically due to one of the most intimate sports at the worst time possible when you're supposed to avoid physical close contact and 3Cs. I had a friend who was very much into MMA, and he was into jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. Told me about a Gracie Baja gym in my small town in Springfield, Illinois, back in the States, and I went to the class. Had a great teacher there, Marcos Bajos, Brazilian dude, and he made me fall in love with it, and then I fell in love with the sport. Jiu-jitsu has had a tremendous impact on my life. I had an athletic upbringing, playing soccer, among a lot of other sports, which was an integral part of my identity. But because of the pandemic and because of some injuries that I suffered, I'm in college from doing soccer and rowing. I struggled to find a different sport at a collegiate level after graduation and during the pandemic when competitive NCAA sports were shut down and when it was just hard to find a pickup game, for example. So I went to the gym, and jiu-jitsu was this athletic catharsis for me right then and there. Second reason is I think jiu-jitsu is one of the most, if not the most, cerebral sports out there where you really need to use your mind. If not consciously, subconsciously, people call it the shogi, or the chess of the body. So you really have to integrate the mind and body together. And a lot of emerging neuroscience also shows that challenging and pushing your bodies in new forms of movement works wonders on cultivating your psychological resilience, longevity, and a whole bunch of other host of health benefits. So it's really important to cultivate a physical literacy, and I realized this retroactively, which just keeps me going in this jiu-jitsu journey. Jiu-jitsu is great for children, especially from a confidence standpoint, because I think it teaches them to basically learn self-defense, and compared to a lot of other martial arts like karate and taekwondo, don't want to diss on them, they have their own benefits and their merits, but from a strictly street fight, raw, pushed into a corner perspective, jiu-jitsu and a good striking base will help you defend yourself. Karate and taekwondo, they're beautiful art forms, they teach you discipline, and they're more like choreography and dance, they're very human. But jiu-jitsu is more brutal, and yeah, children will benefit from it in the long run because they'll learn to have a dangerous skill set under voluntary control. I actually came to Japan only 3 months ago through a program to teach, and it's kind of hard to find a community as a foreign person in a different country. I feel lucky and privileged to have had jiu-jitsu as a hobby, because not only for all the physical benefits I've spoken about, but because it really serves as a community. The people here, especially the two senseis, the two coaches, João Paulo and Jean Carlos, two Brazilian guys who have been doing jiu-jitsu for longer than I've been alive, as is the case for most good coaches. But these guys especially have been beyond welcoming. Besides that, they're incredibly well-versed, good teachers who know what they're talking about. They have a great knowledge base, so if you make a small mistake, they correct it, and they know when to be strict, when to be kind. For example, before a competition that I was in, they doubled down on the details of my moves, which you can say varies a little bit with American gyms, which are a little less detail-oriented, depends on where you go, but generally Japanese culture, they're very much detail-oriented, which goes a long way, devil's in the details. Everyone I've met, they've been a really good community and friend base for me as well. We hang out sometimes outside of training, so I'm really thankful to Yahweh. People should definitely join Yahweh if they're in town. First class is free. Maybe you'll love jiu-jitsu. If not, it'll be a great memory for you in the long run when you're visiting a foreign country.